Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss the Chang Dental Clinic case with my team consists of Isabel, me, Rowena, Ranjana, and Pratima. First, let's discuss the overview. In early January 2006, Chris Miller was considering purchasing and running his first dental clinic, the Chang Dental Clinic. Miller has been working as a consultant after his graduation since April 2003 and thought it was time to start his own business, the Chang Dental Clinic, located in Petrolia, Ontario, Canada. Will give Miller the opportunity to get into business with his own dental practice. Adapting a well-established facility, Miller didn't have to recruit new patients, hire staff, purchase all the necessary equipment, or do many other things needed to start a new care. Although Miller believed Chang's care could be appropriate in this discussion with Stanley Chang, the current owner of the dental clinic, Miller still wanted to conduct a thorough analysis in all aspects in regards to the Chang Dental Clinic to make sure it was the right decision. There are several key problems we come up. First, in this case, their special attention is paid to investment solutions that can acquire existing dentistry. These reports attempt to analyze the situation for potential investor, Chris Miller, who is interested in the opportunity. It will be his first clinic to operate exclusively in Ontario, Canada. We need to analyze several questions about financing clinic purchases. The purchase price is set at $510,000 and Chris has $190,000 in personal savings. Therefore, additional financing through bank loans is required to finance the clinic purchase, which would be a loan that is to be repaid with a standard of time. The performance of the business 1 year after the sale should be performed in conjunction with the forecast of the company's financial statements. He also needs to analyze his ability to pay off debt after the business is sold to give Chris a final recommendation on buying the business. Next, Ranjana will discuss the analysis.
Thank you, Myla. So I'll be talking about the analysis. We'll be talking about SWOT analysis. So let's begin with SWOT analysis. First, talking about the strength. I'll say like it is the younger doctor because Chang was the younger doctor. He could grab more customers so that the customers flow is high in the clinic. Next, it's located in a good geographical location as it is situated between US and Canada. So it can also get the customers from Canada and USA. The next is patient flow because they only had 3 clinics, so the patient flow is more packed in all of those clinics. Miller's experience as dental associate, as we learn from the case that he has already worked in 3 different clinics, so this will be a great experience for him to run his own business. The billing system is very standard in this. They are following the Ontario Dental Association guidelines so that it won't be biased with any of the customers. Established clinics, so no need for additional resources. He do not have to save money for the like getting equipments or hiring some employees. Miller's investigation before purchasing, as he was doing all his homework before getting the clinic into his hand. The payment system was really good. It was following the insurance policy, but also the insurance policy had immediate payment system, so they do not have to wait for a couple of months or weeks in order to get paid for the services which they provide. And the patients were very loyal. They didn't leave like when the doctors were even changed. The Millers was very enthusiastic person. He was always motivated to learn different techniques, and when he was also in dental association, he was always engaged in learning different techniques, like getting different ideas to deal with the patients. The rapport Miller developed with the patient was very good. He was always more into the patients to make them comfortable and to relax them so that they are not worried about the treatment procedures. Now, talking about the weakness, firstly, it required more source of funding. As we can see, he didn't have enough saving in his bank account, so this was the main issues. The other one is the equipments were leased, so he would have to separate the budget for the leased equipments. Miller was in larger debt, so apart from the financial budget saving, he will also have to clear off those debt. and so that he can finance more equipments in the future. The load is more to the Miller because he is planning not to hire any dental assistant. So trying to get things done all by himself will be more burden for him. He didn't have any experience in running the business, though he learned how to run the business setting, but it is not enough to get into his own hand and get all the things done by himself. Now, talking about the opportunities, the older patient, we can see like there was good number of flow, so they will have an opportunity to welcome further new patient. When the services are good, the patient will be attracted more to that clinic rather than the other next to clinic. It will have good recognition in the community when the services are good, and when the services are good enough, when the patients are more, it will ultimately lead in the financial growth. And next will be local people can get employment opportunity. For example, when he need to hire nurse or some technician, he will get it from the local people, so they will have more opportunities to get employment. And lastly, talking about the threats, these are the threats which we sorted. First of all, risks of heavy raid, as Chris Miller had the debt, and so it will be a threat for him. And he also had to pay some lease to the equipments that was already been leased from the Chang, and more competitive environment since it's like these services are giving, they are giving the more standard services, and more patient will be, more patient flow will be there, so the competition will be increased in the market. More patient flow can degrade the standard, as when they are trying to treat more number of patients within a frequent amount of time, this standard will ultimately decrease the patient dissatisfaction. Because of the change in doctor, some patient may feel irritated and they will find it difficult to cope up with the new doctors. This will ultimately result in the shift of the patient, and they can go to the other clinic and see other doctors. The next my team member will be following. Thank you.
So, as for the alternatives, we came up with three. The first one would be offer Chang as associate for several months. So Miller should convince Chang to stay for a couple of months as his associate as part of a purchase agreement. So this is just to help with the transition of the business, just like what Chang did when he purchased the business from his friend. And this was an effective approach in gaining trust and loyalty from the old clients. This can also help Miller in his prediction of substantial business growth in the year 2006. For the second one, bank financing option. So Miller should inquire from other banks as well for better loan offers. He could also present a collateral to the bank for a possibility to increase his loan, and he can also present a detailed growth predictions for 2006 to the bank officials to further convince them to approve a higher loan. He can purchase Chang Dental Clinic immediately once the loan is achievable. The last one would be partnership. I know that Miller doesn't consider partnership, but Miller should consider help from other people and make them a partner. He can create a contract in which he is allowed to buy the share of that partnership once the business is doing well. So this is just to help him start off his business. That's all. The next one would be discussed with my group mates.
Okay, now for the projected net income, it says here that in 2007, they have gained 393,921, wherein in 2005, it is $264,408. Now for the total liabilities, in 2007, it is 298,614, and in 2005, it was $10,929. For the total current assets, 2007, they have $261,135. And in 2005, it was $59,021. Now, for the ratio analysis, growth in 2005, the fee revenues is 35.4%, operating expenses is 32.7%, and net income is 41.4%. So it is understood that Miller will be able to manage paying his debts and have a stable period in the initial years, which can get him to profit in future. Now, for um, the recommendations, Miller should pursue his dreams of opening his own dental practice if he can convince Dr. Chang to stay on a short period of time to assist him with the transition. Obtaining a loan will be much easier if Miller can persuade Chang to stay. This was critical when Chang purchased Chang Dental from the previous owner in 2003. It showed that patients trusted Chang, their previous dentist, and they cared about their health. If he does this, he can expect his newly acquired business to grow steadily. A bank would only be concerned if Chang abruptly left the dental industry. Miller would then face much lower growth, and if the economy continued to deteriorate, failure. If Miller can keep Chang and his patients like him as much as Chang Dental's future looks bright, Miller predicted a 55% increase in sales in 2004 to 2005. Despite being a new in training dentist, Chang received assistance from the previous owner to keep clients on board for a year, but it was not stated that Chang would do the same for Miller. Miller does not have his own clients, so if Chang's clients dislikes Miller's work, the business may fail. Miller then predicts 18% sales growth in 2006, which is reasonable from a banking standpoint. Dental care, like all other types of healthcare, will always be necessary in any countries. Thank you.
So the summary, Miller had an expertise as a dental associate and expected to run a dental clinic. As already mentioned, like Miller has 3 years of experience as an associate. So he was trying to buy a chain dental clinic, and he had an amount of $190,000 from his saving, while he needs like $510,000 to own a clinic. The remaining option for him was a bank loan with interest rate of 6% per annum, with monthly installment of $2,667. Miller expected to reduce the associate fee by 15% of the projected income of 2006 and withdraw the amount of $140,000 salary each year, while the projected income was $393,921 in 2007, in which the receivable inventory and accountable payable remain same. So in our option, with the projected income in 2007, that is 393,921, he will be able to pay the debt in the future, and also he can get benefited from the clinic. So in our opinion, Miller should buy the clinic, as he would be able to pay the debts and will get benefited from it. Moreover, he will able to pursue his dream of running his own clinics. That's all from our group. Thank you.